Hello and a big welcome to the channel. I'm the Motorsport Madman and this is the 2022 Austrian Grand Prix sprint race on the Saturday afternoon. This is a brand new sprint format that they're trying out. They tried a few last season. They're carrying it on to this season. This is the second of 3 sprint Grand Prix weekends. We had one in Imola. We've got one today in Austria, and we've got one at the end of the season in Brazil. How it works is a sprint race is a third of a Grand Prix distance. So today we have got a 24-lap race round the Styrian Mountains. So welcome to the stream. If you are new to the channel, if you are a Formula 1 fan as well, then you've got to get yourself subscribed, because I'm live not just today, not just this weekend, but for every single qualifying and every single race, be it a sprint race or a full Grand Prix of the Formula 1 season. So get yourself subscribed, and guys, please smash the like if you are watching this on a rerun, or if you're watching it live, hit the like button because it really helps the channel. Obviously just getting going, about 3 months in, and yeah, we want to grow it as quickly as possible and get people knowing about the channel, get people in, grow a community, and yeah, get it on. So sprint race today in Austria. We've got Max Verstappen on pole position, coming in clutch yesterday, but both Mercedes crashed out. We've got George Russell who start 4th, and Hamilton, who I think will start P9 after Sergio Perez was pushed back about 10 places with an added on grid penalty after the event, which is a bit of a new one because usually they delete the lap time immediately, but Sergio Perez getting the penalty a few hours later and pushed back to about 13th on the grid. So Perez got to come through the pack. Hamilton should come through the pack from P9. We've got both McLarens about 14th and 15th, but both Haas in the top 7, 6th and 7th for Haas. Again, repping Haas. Let's go. Who's in the chat? It's Tax is in. Welcome to the stream, Tax. Ernesto Carbone, welcome in. Daniel Davis, welcome in, bro. How are we doing? Rep those shell days, mate. I miss those shell days, lad. But yeah, welcome to the stream. Farhan, welcome in as well. And yeah, start your phone, it's lagging. Hopefully it's not me lagging. If I'm lagging, let me know. Shouldn't be lagging, but if I am, apologise. Not a lot I can do about it. But yeah, we roll. So yeah, the sprint race is going to get underway at 3:30, so in about 6 or 7 minutes. And yeah, I back the sprint race weekends, man. Just throws another. They just try to refresh things, trying to add new things into the mix. 2 races in one weekend. Are you going to say no? It basically replaces a practice session. So what would you rather have? A Friday practice session, you know, an additional hour of practice, or a race? I'm going for a race. You know, I'm saying a race. So I wouldn't have it every weekend though. Obviously on some tracks it wouldn't work. Like sprint racing like Monaco would be pointless, but round Austria, we're going to get some action round Austria. It is one of the better tracks for overtaking. There's about like 3 or 4 decent overtaking opportunities. You know, down into turn 1, down into up the hill to turn 3, that's heavy braking zone, and into turn 4 as well. We can see some overtakes. So yeah, the sprint race is going to get underway in a minute. And hype mode, headphone time now. We're going to get the theme tune going, and yeah, let's go gearbox. I don't know what you mean by gearbox, but let's get these on. Let's go. Who's up for a sprint race then? Alright, just make sure that's right, so the wire's not banging into the microphone for 24 laps. Yes, Gerald, welcome to the stream. Hope this becomes a clean race. Yeah, man. We don't need any British Grand Prix antics here, do we? Like that. When that British Grand Prix started, that was a heavy one. We just want nice, clean racing. We want close racing. You know, we got cars out of position. You know, Sergio Perez being pushed down to P13. I think it's 30, yeah, 13th on the grid. He's got to be coming through. But look at the Haas. Haas is P6, P7. I tell you what, they come good, and like Haas are saying, when they've not upgraded the car, like Haas are literally like checked out for the season. Whatever that car is now, that's it till the end of the year. So the fact that they're still like having good weekends and like cracking both cars in the top 10 is a madness. Oh, big up Haas. Both cars in the top 7. Mercedes had a bit of a nightmare, but it's a weird one because George Russell, despite the crash, because of Perez's penalty, actually moves up a position. George Russell start P4, Hamilton from P9. And here we go. Boom, boom, boom. In fact, let me see if it's on Sky Main Event. No, it's not. They've gone with the cricket. As if T20 cricket's more important than sprint race. Get out, man. Yeah, here we go then. Bam, bam, ba, ba, ba. What's your predictions, guys? I want to see predictions in chat. Max DNF Gearbox, my prediction. Oh, yeah, well, that'd be interesting, wouldn't it? I tell you what, Leclerc needs to win, man. Leclerc needs to win the sprint and win the Grand Prix tomorrow. You know, to put his authority down, man. Red Bull are running away with it. Look at Red Bull in the championship. You got Verstappen 181 points, Perez second in the championship on 147, Leclerc 138 points. So how this works in terms of points is, I think, well, I'm pretty sure you get 8 points for winning this race. The top 8 will score points. So first place gets 8 points, second place 7 points, third place 6 points, all the way down to 8th place gets 1 point. So you get a decent amount of points. If you were to win the sprint race, I think Max did this in Imola. If you win this sprint race and then win the Grand Prix on the Sunday and get fastest lap, I mean, how many? You're bagging like 37 points? What's 25 and 8? 33 and a fastest lap. You can bag 34 points in a weekend. You know, that's big. That's big when, you know, the other Grand Prix weekends you're getting 26 points max. So yeah, it's a big one. This one difficult to predict. It really is, Gerald. I saw in qualifying yesterday, if you weren't in the watch-along for that, but I'm sure you saw qualifying anyway. The top 3 separated by a 10th. It was mad. But yeah, we've seen a rundown of the grid then. So it's Vettel at the back, P20. Latifi starts 19th. Zhou Guanyu, a miracle that he's even racing, 18th. Stroll will start at P70. Then McLaren's 16th and 15th. Not good for them. Yuki Tsunoda will start 14th. Perez, after his penalty, 13th. Valtteri Bottas just outside the top 10 in P12. Alex as well, P11. Pierre Gasly 10th and Lewis Hamilton 9th. What can he do for there? Are Mercedes back? Are they back here? Have they got Red Bull pace, Ferrari pace? We'll see. Alonso P8. Look at that for a row. Alonso Schumacher. We used to see that 15 years ago, but now it's Michael Schumacher's son racing Fernando Alonso. You've got Magnussen up there in P6. Esteban Ocon, great qualifying. Dark Horse in P5. You've got Russell up to 4th despite his crash. And then the big boys, Carlos Sainz P3, Charles Leclerc P2, and Max Verstappen, who will start the sprint race from pole position. 24 laps incoming round Austria. Let's go. The times were so slow in FP2. Yeah, I didn't stream FP2 because I was like, nah, it's a bit of a dead session. And they were slower. They were like 3 seconds slower. I think they were just doing race runs. Like they were just doing. It would have been dead to do a watch along on FP2 because they were just literally. I think they just filled the cars with fuel, and just did Grand Prix. What did they call it? Race runs, like 20 lap runs and stuff. It wasn't anything exciting. But now we're into the real stuff. We're into the proper racing now. Oh, who's up for the second sprint race of the season? I can't wait. Leclerc's got to put it on Max. Do you know what I saw actually when they were doing the practice starts in practice earlier on? I seen was it Alonso or what? No, was it Leclerc? Was actually practicing diving up the inside in turn 1. And I often think like people don't practice going off the, like if you're overtaking someone, a lot of the time you're going to be going off the racing line and diving down this. We've got a car on its jacks on the grid. So who hasn't moved? So Fernando Alonso still with the tyre blankets on. The car's still on its jacks. What does this mean then? Will Alonso start the race? Will he start it from the back? Oh no. I think at best Fernando Alonso starts this race from the back now. What's going on? Will he? Is he out? What's going on with Fernando Alonso? Oh, I was looking forward to seeing what Alonso could do in this sprint race. It looks like he might not even start. Oh, I gutted. Oh, what's going on with there? Look at the Max Verstappen fans with the orange flares, the orange smoke grenades going off in the crowd. Orange army, there they are, the Max Verstappen fans. It's like virtually a home race for Max Verstappen. This. Never mind when you go to when we go to Zandvoort in Holland. God, man's got 2 home races. So Fernando Alonso's been pushed back in the pit lane, and will he even start the race? If he does, he'll definitely be at the back now, but he'll have to do a pit lane start if he does start at all. Bit of a mad one for Fernando Alonso, but yeah, we're lining up on the grid. Oh, I don't know what was up with that. They're putting a cable in the side pod. I don't know what that means. But they're coming around the final couple of corners on this formation lap then to line up on the grid. Let me just make sure the live timings are going to work. I'll go... why is it down there? I'll go green. I'll go green flag now. I'll preempt it. And... the live timers should be on. Right. Let me know if the live timers don't work. Vettel managed over 40 laps during practice. He got the best warm-up and Russell was practicing overtaking. Yeah, they were practicing diving up the inside in turn 1, which I haven't seen before. Oh, but here we go. We're lining up on the grid. Here come the stragglers at the back, says David Croft. Here's Zhou Guanyu then. Has he stalled it? He's in neutral. Oh, Zhou's got a problem. We might be on the engine's switched off and he's not going to take... Yeah, they're going to have to abandon the start and do another formation lap here. Nah, these engines, they're going to have to flash the orange lights. Or you're going to see, yeah, flashing amber lights, 3 red. And we're going to have to do another formation lap because Zhou Guanyu, and look at that, they were all in the starting formation, but Zhou Guanyu's engine's conked out literally 100 metres from his grid spot. Oh, he's got it going. Flipping it. We've got Alonso who's going to start from the pit lane after not getting off his grid mark to do the formation lap. And flipping Zhou Guanyu now looks like he's going to be starting from the pit lane as well. So we've got a second formation lap before we get this sprint race underway. But yeah, Vettel managed 40 laps in practice. Wow. That's going some... they must have just fueled him up and he must have barely stopped during the whole session, just done the whole session. Look at the clouds of orange smoke. The crowd cheering, yeah, the crowd cheering as if the race is underway. No. Yeah, Zhou Guanyu being told he's going to have to start from the pit lane. Yeah. So Alonso, we're going to have a pit lane start, and so is Zhou Guanyu. So it'll be 18 drivers taking to the grid then. Here we go for a second time then. Will they get the race underway this time as they come round the final corners to line up on the grid? It is, of course, Max Verstappen from pole, then the 2 Ferraris. What can they do to stop Max today in Austria? Oh, the wheeling Fernando... Oh, is Alonso out? I think Alonso's out. I don't think Alonso's even going to do a pit lane start. They're just wheeling him back. Latifi up 2 places already. Mate, he's killing it out there. He's absolutely smashing it, Nicholas Latifi. Oh, 18 cars on the grid. And it looks like Alonso's out. He looks like they're wheeling him back into the garage. And that's his day done before it even got started. But Zhou Guanyu will start from the pit lane. He did get his engine back going again. For some reason it conked out. But we're just seeing the guys at the back lining up. And then we're going to get underway for 24 laps. 1/3 of a Grand Prix distance are the sprint races. And the result of which will set the grid positions for the Grand Prix tomorrow. Join me for that at 2 o'clock, by the way. I'll be live at 10 to 2 for the Grand Prix starting at 2 o'clock. But right now, it is the Austrian sprint race. We've got the green flag at the start, and it's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And the sprint race is going Austrian. It's a great start from Max Verstappen. Oh, but he's Charles Leclerc down the inside. Leclerc is going to fight down the inside, but Verstappen sees him out. Verstappen first into turn 1, and there's a crash. There's an AlphaTauri off in the back, but it's not too bad. And here comes the 2 Ferraris then lined up. I think he's Sainz into second. I think Sainz went round the outside of Leclerc, and Sainz is lining up Max Verstappen, the side-by-side in turn 3. And here comes Leclerc down the inside, and Russell still 4th. And then you've got an Alpine, and 2 Hasses are still in good positions, but the Ferraris are fighting. Here comes Charles Leclerc into turn 4 then. The Ferraris go side by side into turn 4. You've got to be careful. You don't want to collect your teammate. It's still Verstappen, but Leclerc gets it back. It's Verstappen, Leclerc, Sainz. And then we've got Russell who stayed P4. And look at Magnussen attacking Ocon for P5. Go on then. Go on then, Haas. Haas has still kept the positions. I was worried about them being swamped at the start, but Haas is still 6th and 7th. Get in, but Verstappen's got a bit of a gap already. I reckon he's already got a second or more gap with the 2 Ferraris squabbling into turn 3 and turn 4. They've given Verstappen a bit of a gap already. George Russell has got to get onto the back of Carlos Sainz for P3. But Matt, I'll tell you what, Charles tried it. Charles tried it down the inside of turn 1 on Max, but nah, it ain't. And yeah, and it is Max Verstappen with over a second gap to Charles Leclerc then. And the 2 Ferraris, I mean, thank God they didn't come together. But Lewis Hamilton has lost a couple of positions. He's down from 9th to 11th. Alexander Albon has up into the top 10. But yeah, it was Pierre Gasly who must have spun off in the turn 1. There was a bit of contact, nothing like what we had last week. But let's have a look at the start so you can see the gap where Fernando Alonso should be. But let's have a look what happened to Pierre Gasly in turn 1 then. Oh yeah, it was similar to what we had in the British Grand Prix, just didn't flip over. So was it Hamilton? Was it Hamilton colliding with Pierre Gasly? So you see Gasly on his right, and it is virtually, I mean, it's virtually a mirror image of what happened in the British Grand Prix, except he didn't flip it over. And Pierre Gasly looks like he's carried on. Then he is down the back. Where is Gasly? 18th. But he is still in the race. Tyre management will be very important. It will be. Tyre management will be critical. I'm not exactly sure until we see the graphics what tyre everyone is on. But we're seeing a replay of the Ferraris going into turn 4 then, and Leclerc going down the inside to get that P2 back. And Sainz give him space. And that's the running order as it stands now. But okay, so they're all on the mediums apart from Alex Albon in P10, who's on the softs, and the Aston Martins. So basically, everyone's on the mediums apart from the Williams and Aston Martins, who are on the soft tyres. You do well to get a set of soft tyres through 23 laps of pushing it to the max. I tell you that. That's going to be a bit of a sketchy one for the Williams and Aston Martins to get to the end with their fresh tyres, but the mediums should last. And Hamilton overtakes Alexander Albon, then back into the top 10 for Lewis Hamilton, takes him into turn 1, and Lando Norris is lining up Alexander Albon as well as they go up to turn 3 then. Norris on the outside, Alex Albon defending it on the inside. Is Norris going to go around the outside, wheel to wheel on the apex? Oh, he's bounced over the sausage curb. Alex has defended it like a boss, and Alex stays P11 then. Lando Norris is going to have to do him. But look at Daniel Ricciardo now. Daniel Ricciardo right behind Norris, lining up the move. It's a three-way battle for P11 at the moment with the 2 McLarens. And Daniel Ricciardo looking at going side by side into turn 6. Both McLarens outside the points at the moment. They'll be probably happy. They might not admit it, but they'll be happy that Fernando Alonso hasn't even taken part in this race, because I feel like Alpine and McLaren are going to have a season-long battle for that P4 in the championship. So Leclerc's done fastest lap of the race, and yeah, and he needs to. So we're on lap 5 out of 23. We only got 23 laps now. It should have been 24, but because of the extra formation lap, they've deleted a lap off the full Grand Prix distance. And the turn 1 incident, whoa, there's an Ocon fight. I tell you what, Kevin Magnussen dived down the inside of Esteban Ocon there, but now he's going to have Mick Schumacher, his teammate, all over his rear wing, heading to turn 4. They're going to be careful. It's careful, guys, and Mick just eases off a little bit early, brakes early into turn 4 to not cause any unnecessary drama. But, wow, Mick's on it. All of a sudden, Mick's just turned it up, and I back it. Because Mick's had 18 anonymous months in this sport, but now he's going. We're away. P6 and P7 for Haas. I rate that. But Sainz is close. Yeah, Sainz is closer to Leclerc than Leclerc is to Verstappen's pulling away at the front. Verstappen's rapid. It's a 2.5 second gap that Verstappen's got in already in the first half dozen laps here, and it's going to be a battle of the Ferraris. Oh, Sainz is going. Oh, I thought they were going to collide. I thought Sainz was going to hit Leclerc then. Oh my God, Sainz looking quicker. Sainz is looking quicker than Leclerc at the moment. Oh God, I thought for a second there, I thought he's going to wipe his teammate out. I thought that's it. He's gonna hit Leclerc, and the last second he must have just backed out of it. But it's still Leclerc P2, Sainz 3rd, Russell stays 4th from the start. Ocon still in 5th despite being challenged by Kevin Magnussen. Kevin Magnussen must have dived up the inside in turn 3. Obviously went too deep, and Ocon got the place immediately back. But let's go Haas. And they're being put under pressure from Sergio Perez. Sergio Perez right behind Mick Schumacher now. And this looks like a 3-way, 4-way battle, really, for 5th place in the Grand Prix. Perez already then up from 13th to 8th immediately. So that's a pretty good going for Sergio Perez in the Red Bull. Already on a charge. And they're lining up the two Haas drivers up into turn 3 on lap 7 out of 23. But we cut to the Ferraris, and they're still fighting. Sainz is going to go round the outside into turn 4. The wheel to wheel. Oh, here they go. Don't crash. He's pushed him off. He's pushed. Leclerc pushed Sainz off the circuit. Oh, this is feisty. This is gold dust. Oh, this is drama. The two Ferraris battling in the sprint race in Austria. Oh, that must have been so close to contact. Here we go then. Right, so Sainz. So we missed that on the TV. Yeah, we should have been watching that. But Sainz fully sent it in turn 3. Went deep. Okay. And then Sainz tries it round the outside. Okay, brakes a bit later, but Charles Leclerc just... That was an interesting one, that was... wow. Ferrari would have been sweating watching that. Here comes Lewis Hamilton, then looks like he's made a place up on his old teammate Valtteri Bottas into turn 3. Looks like Bottas is still on the inside. The TV direction isn't great. Being on board with Lewis there wasn't the camera angle we needed, but he's made the position. Bottas trying it back down into turn 4, but doesn't get it. And Hamilton up into P9 then, and will he rock up to the back of Sergio Perez and the guys in front, because they're in a big scrap for P5. Ocon, Magnussen, Schumacher, and Perez virtually nose to tail, and Alexander Albon has got a 5-second time penalty. I never even saw what he did. I never saw what Alex Albon did, but he's got a 5-second time penalty for something. They're saying on Sky that he pushed Leclerc off the track. What? I don't get it. But yeah, Alex Albon with a 5-second time penalty. And here comes Mick Schumacher looking at his teammate. Oh, they're going to go side by... Ooh. Oh, and here comes Sergio Perez then down the inside of Mick Schumacher. And Perez does Mick Schumacher at turn 3 then. And he's going to line up Kevin Magnussen straight away. They're going down the hill to turn 4. Has a look, but doesn't go for the move yet on Kevin Magnussen. But Sergio Perez, nice move. Yeah, nice move on Mick Schumacher. Schumacher down to 8th then. Perez up to P7. He's the man on the charge in this sprint race. Lap 10 of 23 in the sprint race. We're already nearly halfway through it. Welcome in, Ryan Tune. How are we doing? Here we are on board with Perez, and he's looking to line up Kevin Magnussen for P6. Mr. Colgate. Here comes Perez, and oh, Magnussen's a sitting duck. He tries to defend it. Perez is sailing round the outside, and he's right on the apex, so he's got the job done. Sergio Perez, then from 13th, now up into 6th. He is definitely the man on the charge today, but both Hasses still up there, 7th and 8th. They'll take that, but Lewis Hamilton is going to be cruising up to the back of Mick Schumacher in the next couple of laps. I would have thought. Here we are for a replay then as for Perez versus Magnussen, and yeah, sails round the outside. Yellow flag sector 2. What's happened in the middle part of the lap? Oh, there's an Aston Martin off. I don't know which one. Is it Vettel? Vettel's reversing. He's spun off. So Vettel spun off. He's in the gravel. He's going to get... Okay. So he's manoeuvring onto... he's manoeuvred himself onto a runoff area, and he's back on circuit. So Vettel has made a huge mistake, but got away. Oh, he's side by side with... Where's that? Is that with Albon? Oh, wow. Okay, so it's Vettel and Albon were side by side into turn 6. And, they tag. Oh, they trip over each other. And sends Vettel pirouetting off into the gravel. He has managed to keep going. I don't know. I feel like Seb... I don't know, mate. I'd say racing incident on that. You can't really throw the blame at either driver there. Maybe Seb should have given him a bit more room. Maybe Alex, just got a bit too much understeer. I don't know. That's a racing incident. But it means that Sebastian Vettel is P19 and last on circuit after that one. Albon down in 13th. But here we go then. Perez is already lining up Esteban Ocon and goes down the inside into turn 3. And Perez up to P5. Wow, Sergio Perez from 13th to 5th now. And Lewis Hamilton looks like he's going to line up Mick Schumacher. Ocon having another look at Perez. But we need to be looking at Lewis Hamilton versus Mick Schumacher. And Mick keeps the position for now. So the two Hasses... still ahead of Lewis Hamilton, who's still in P9, which was where he started from. He'd been hoping to make a lot more progress than this by now, considering more than halfway through the sprint race. So lap 13, and it's going to be Hamilton versus Schumacher pretty soon. Coming out of turn 1 then. He's going to have the DRS. Well, I tell you what, but Mick's going to have DRS as well. Is Lewis going to try it into turn 3, or is he going to line it up for turn 4? We thought about it. But he's going to get a nice run. This is where the mood's going to be now. He's going to have DRS. I imagine he's going to use some battery power as well. Mick's going to defend it on the inside, so they're going to go side by side into turn 4. Then Hamilton and Schumacher. defends it. Schumacher defends it. Wow. Oh, but Lewis is fancying it round the outside. Oh, Mick, give him space. Oh, still can't get past Mick Schumacher, getting his elbows out against 7-time world champion Lewis Hamilton on lap 14 of this sprint race. And Lewis can't get past. Interesting. But yeah, we've got Max Verstappen 2.5 second lead he's got over Charles Leclerc at the moment. Sainz P3, who has dropped off his teammate. He's a second behind Leclerc is Sainz. Ooh, the two Hasses and Hamilton are so close. This is a battle for P7. You've got Magnussen 7th, Schumacher 8th, and Hamilton P9. This is the closest battle on circuit. Russell's still up there in P4. Perez up to 5th, but catching George Russell. Perez on a charge. And still another lap. Lewis Hamilton, he's right behind. He's all over the gearbox and Mick Schumacher, but just can't make a move stick. Yeah, Perez is catching Russell for P4. Ocon P6, he's doing well. Strong race. And a strong pace from Alpine. Alonso would be wishing he was in the race. Both McLarens still out of the points and in P11 and 12. As we still watch this three-way battle for P7. On board with Lewis Hamilton to turn 3. He's right behind, but he can't make a move. I think because Mick's got the DRS as well, Lewis hasn't got a massive straight line advantage like he would hope. And Lewis ain't close enough here into turn 4. And it's going to be another lap. Ooh, he thought about trying it round the outside then, did Lewis. But Mick shuts the door. And another lap. And Hamilton in. 8-time world champions Mercedes car cannot get past this Haas duo. How about that? Yeah, we've only got like 6 or 7 laps to go then. In the sprint race, Lewis needs to get a move on. Team radio, Daniel Ricciardo. He's basically, if you read between the lines, Daniel Ricciardo's saying, let me pass Norris. Let me through. I'm quicker, says Daniel Ricciardo. Again, on board with Lewis Hamilton into turn 3. I tell you what's the problem for Lewis is that Mick has got the DRS as well. That's the problem. I feel like if it was a 1v1 and Magnussen wasn't right there, Lewis would get the job done. Yeah, with Schumacher with the DRS, he's quick, man, and Lewis is not finding it easy at all. Battle for 11th, Norris versus Ricciardo. McLaren's battling for no points. Not where they want to be, 11th and 12th. And Alpine going to get a couple of points here with Esteban Ocon. It's sitting in P6. Cut to the battle for P7 again. Lewis versus Haas. Oh, he might have a chance here if he gets in the slipstream. He might just have to send a dive bomb. Lewis might just have to fully send it eventually into turn 4. This is the thing. But the gaps have stabilised out of the front. You know, Verstappen's got 2.5 seconds over Leclerc. Leclerc's got 3 seconds on Sainz now. Sainz did put up a fight in those first couple of laps. He's going hell for leather to beat his teammate Leclerc. But that has settled down. The top three is pretty much set with 5 laps to go in this sprint race. George Russell pretty much in a world of his own, as he usually is. George Russell not got the pace of the guys in front, but quicker than the guys behind. And Sergio Perez, like they were saying on Sky, might run out of laps before he catches George Russell for P4. He's 4.5 seconds behind George Russell is Sergio Perez. But he'll take a P5, considering he started 13th. He'll take a P5 on the grid. Of course, this sets the grid for the Grand Prix tomorrow. But here comes Lewis Hamilton then versus Mick Schumacher again for about the 10th time in 10 laps. Is he trying it around the outside and turn forward? Puts his nose there. No, and Schumacher still. Wow. We saw Lewis stuck behind. Lewis was stuck behind Gasly, wasn't he, in Imola for like 30 laps or something like that. This is a similar scenario. It's a slower car. Not much slower, I'd say, than the Mercedes. Haas are looking pretty quick this weekend. But Lewis just can't get the move done. And the laps are running out. The laps are running out for Lewis Hamilton as he's made no positions in the race. Lost a couple of positions at the start after contact with Pierre Gasly. Got those back again. No, this looks closer though. This looks close. He's going to have to send a dive bomb or you're going to finish P8 and P9, Lewis. He's going to have a better exit short. Oh, he's nearly nudging the back of him on the exit. Right, he's got the inside. He's got the inside now, Mick. Oh, this could be it. Mick's quick. That Haas is quicker than the Mercedes down the straights. Wow. This is a big fight. Lewis still can't get past Mick Schumacher. Go on, Mick. I'll tell you what, Mick has made himself... Mick Schumacher has had more TV coverage these last couple of Grand Prix weekends than he's had in the previous 35 Grand Prix he's raced. No, he's not. But yeah, Mick Schumacher has had more TV coverage these last two weeks than he's had in the previous 30 races he's competed in. And there goes Lewis then. Is he diving? Lewis is going to have to just send it, bro. You've got Valtteri Bottas right behind as well. So Bottas is in this fight for P9, P8. Oh, surely this time, Lewis. Lewis goes round the outside, then down into turn 4. The wheel to wheel. Schumacher's got the inside line though. He's pushed him out wide. Go on, Mick. Getting the elbows full out there. Woo-hoo. Go on, Mick. And the Dutch fans absolutely love it. The Dutch fans love the Mick's holding up Hamilton. That's funny. Bro, this is a good scrap. Mick showing his worth. Showing that he's worthy to be in the pinnacle of motorsport. Is Kevin Magnussen staying back? I think so. I think he might be, yes. And that's the right thing to do for the team. You've got to think of the team. Oh, Lewis is surely though, because I think now Schumacher's out of DRS range. Magnussen needs to back it up, or else Lewis is going to do him. Oh yeah, Magnussen's gone, and here comes Lewis. Then he's got the inside line. Surely this time. Gets the better exit. He's got DRS. He's used his battery. Down into turn 4 goes Lewis Hamilton. And finally, that's only taken him about 15 laps. But Lewis Hamilton up to P8. And I tell you something, there's only about a lap and a half to go. So I don't think he's going to make up any more positions. It's looking like it's going to be a P8 start for Lewis Hamilton for the Austrian Grand Prix tomorrow. as Max Verstappen's dominated this. As soon as he saw off Leclerc in turn 1, that was it. Verstappen just romped away at the front, 2-second lead over Leclerc. Then comes Sainz, Russell P4. He'll take that as a grid position for tomorrow. Perez 5th, Ocon 6th, Magnussen 7th, and will likely hold on to that. The closest battle on circuit now is going to be Bottas v Schumacher for P9, as Lewis heads off after Magnussen. Yeah, Verstappen coming around the final couple of corners to start his final lap then. So we've got 1 lap to go in this sprint race now. Final lap. And you get 8 points for winning the sprint race. So you get 8 points for winning, 7 points for second place, 6 points for third place, down to 1 point for 8th position. So the top 8 do get points in this sprint race. So if you win a sprint race and then you win the Grand Prix, you can bag yourself 33, 34 points in a weekend, which is big. And it looks like Verstappen's going to get all 8 points today in this sprint race. He's just absolutely dominated it from start to finish. Here comes Verstappen then through the middle sector, round turn 6 for the final time today in this sprint race. Dominated it from start to finish, and the Dutch fans love it. The flares are on, the clouds of orange smoke sees Verstappen home. Round the last couple of corners he comes then, and Max Verstappen will take all 8 points today. As he crosses the line, Max Verstappen wins the Austrian sprint race. It's going to be Charles Leclerc going to take second place. Not quite quick enough to challenge Max. Sainz had a good go at Charles Leclerc, but Sainz will finish third and take 6 points away from this sprint race. We cut to Valtteri Bottas fighting with Mick Schumacher for P9. But Schumacher's made a good account of himself, eventually being overtaken by Lewis Hamilton. But yeah, the top 3 is Verstappen, Leclerc, Sainz. George Russell will finish 4th and hence start 4th for the race tomorrow. Sergio Perez from 13th to 5th. He's got to be driver of the sprint race, if there is such a thing as driver of the sprint race. Perez from 13th to 5th. Ocon 6th. Not bad at all for Esteban Ocon. Kevin Magnussen will start the Austrian Grand Prix from 7th. Hamilton will start from P8, only made up 1 position. Lewis Hamilton, that sprint race, not what he was hoping to do. Hoping to make much more progress than that. Mick Schumacher will start in the top 10. P9 and Bottas from 10th. Both McLarens out of the top 10, P11 and 12. They made a little bit of progress. I think they started the sprint race from, 14th and 15th. So McLaren have made a bit of progress, but not enough to get any points today. But hopefully enough to get some points tomorrow. But yeah, that's about it. As the clouds of orange smoke come across the circuit, then the Dutch fans loving it. Leclerc Team Radio, P2 for Charles Leclerc. Decent, but he'll be hoping for more in the Austrian Grand Prix tomorrow. Welcome to the stream, Matty. We'll have to say come on Lewis tomorrow, because he'll be starting from 8th on the grid. Obviously, the result of this sprint race sets the grid for the full Grand Prix tomorrow. Join me for that at 10 to 2. But yeah, guys. Yeah, that is about it from me. Max Verstappen takes sprint victory. I don't even know what they call it. Sprint race victory. Sprint win. I don't even know. But either way, Max Verstappen, basically, in a nutshell, will start the Austrian Grand Prix from the front of the grid with Sainz alongside him, as it was today in the sprint. Sainz from P3, Russell 4th, Perez 5th, Ocon 6th, Magnussen 7th, Hamilton 8th, Mick Schumacher 9th, Bottas 10th. Join me at 10 to 2 tomorrow afternoon for the Austrian Grand Prix. And yeah, see you later, guys. Peace out. Drop a like if you have enjoyed the stream. Trying to get the channel up and running properly. And yeah, any interaction is so appreciated. So drop me a like, subscribe if you're into Formula 1, because I'm live for every single qualifying and every single Grand Prix. But that's about it, guys. I will see you tomorrow, 10-2, Austrian Grand Prix, Verstappen on pole in front of his home fans. Big moves, big moves.